Although the title of the video says 1 year, the map is actually just a tad older than that. I'm not sure how much older, but it is a bit older. But for the majority of that year I wasn't actually doing all that much, so the map might look a bit underwhelming when you present it as a 1-year-old map. The map is mostly single player. Sometimes some friends come and join me. I open it up to LAN and they come help me out a bit, but right now it's single player and most of the stuff that I'm gonna show you was actually made in single player, so you can treat it as such. And with that out of the way, let us get started with the tour. When you spawn in, this is the area where you're gonna start, and I've tried to make it as obvious as possible that that's the main entrance. Sometimes people still go to the other entrances, but this is the place where you're supposed to go to. And the first thing you're gonna have is 4 basic rooms. One is not furniture yet, but the idea is that you have here a kitchen where you can come grab some food, and then you have here an armory where you can come pick up stuff, whatever you think you'll need. And then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the 4th one over there, the 3rd one being a small little library. There was supposed to be a minecart there. Okay. And here you have some maps, a bit of stuff here and there. This is a lectern with some information, some locations that I marked out. And then we have a loom, we have a cartography table, stuff like that. That's what this library is meant for. And also at some point I'm gonna make some way of telling people the rules of the server. I need to make this place a little bit more new player friendly, because right now you kinda need someone to show you around. And then upstairs, first of all, you have on this side general storage, a bunch of chests, a bunch of stuff. There were supposed to be a few maps there. Actually, I should probably show you those maps, because there was like those. And okay, what happened is that I accidentally went to 117 without realizing that I shouldn't, went back to 116.1, and now a bunch of stuff is missing. Okay, this is not great. Anyway, here you have the item frames are gone. A bunch of stuff, honey, flowers, stone, wood, whatever you will need. A lot of wool because of a farm I had. And basically whatever's in here you can keep or store more stuff in here. This is kind of a public area, it's not private, but there are rooms on the other side, and it's not that on that side there aren't rooms, but there aren't yet. This is my room where I have a bunch of stuff, a small mushroom because of reasons, and my personal items that I do not want to share with people. And the idea is that people can come in here and take a room for themselves. Like this is one of my friend's room. He's quite a minimalist, as you can see. This wall building is kind of meant as a starter home for everybody. Another friend has a small room here, then another guy has a room there, then maybe some more rooms here. Now, a lot of this place is not actually finished, not at all. I didn't even remove all of the trees from these parts or spawn proof it. The problem is that this mansion is huge, and I mean huge. I mean, look at it. Something exploded. Of course something exploded. I mean, look at this place. This is huge, so it's not really meant to be finished anytime soon because I just don't need it, and not all of it is meant to be rooms. A friend of mine wanted to make Olympic pool kind of stuff here, so I was like, okay. And another friend made his room here, and to get inside you actually have to come like this and like this, and this is his room. It's kind of like a troll in the attic. This is one of the map art I've made for the server. This is actually 4 maps, it's not just one. I've made it over in the end, and there should be one more, but that one disappeared as well. Give me a moment. And this is the other one. This one is actually supposed to be outside on the flag. And this is our flag. I've made it specifically for that reason, but it also works separately inside here and there along with those banners. This is our banner. Right as you come out of the house, here there is a park that is also supposed to double as a sugarcane farm, and the drops go in here. And as per usual, the machine has broken, because of course it does. Also, there's a block somewhere in there that's kinda like ghost block. I can't place anything there and I can't break it, so that kind of messes with the machine. And also there's supposed to be kinda like blinds that cover the holes that would need to be there for the machine to go through. At some point I will probably have to revisit this and make it a whole lot simpler, so it has a way less of a chance to break, but that's something I'll do another day. Outside of the house there is also this alleyway that leads to the center of the world, the 0 point, but I have different means of getting there. Here in the garden, it's a nice garden. I have water feature there. I want a cherry blossom tree there that I'm gonna make with the new azalea leaves blocks from 170. By the way, that's an iron farm that is currently not working. It's a passive, peaceful iron farm. I don't know why it stopped, but it stopped, so if you're wondering. And here there is the nether portal. The nether portal leads you right here, and here is the nether portal connected to the center of the world. Here at the 0 point I've made the nether portal on a floating island kind of thing. It's kind of like a Greek temple, and I think it really fits for this to be in the center. It's cute. Down here it's the center, and as you can see, there's not a lot to see. There's a start stadium there, but I'm gonna remove that and place it somewhere else. There used to be a village here. There's a big-ass Jesus statue here that it's not complete, which is a running theme on my world. A lot of projects are not actually completed. This is a small wood farm. Although I say small, it's about as big as you need it to be. And I'm not still sure what I want to do with this area. I think I'm gonna make something like a medieval town, but I'm still not sure, which is why I wanted to remove that stadium, because it doesn't fit the medieval stuff, Going back to the nether, I still don't have a nether hub, because I never really needed one. Few people came here and I know my way around it, so I didn't really need to mark out anything. But one thing I do have is this. Oh, my elytra didn't start. Actually, give me a second, I'm gonna log in with a different version. Now this is much better. This is supposed to be Atlas holding the roof of the Nether, and somewhere around there, okay, that is spawned, somewhere around there there should be a portal that is linked up to the one at 0, and at that point you would have either the option of flying up through a hole in the roof that is not there yet, or kinda taking the stairs in case you don't have an elytra. As per usual, not even the leg is finished, and I'm actually not gonna make a head for this, and I'm not sure what to do about the neck because it kinda looks very weird, but you know. That aside, I also have this gold farm, which is of course Gnembom Designs, and I also have this food farm. It's Hoglin's farm. I always forget what they're called. Hoglin something. It's very small, but this actually provides you with more than enough food. I have an AFK platform up there, and that's about it for this farm. And also that's about all I have in the Nether. I don't actually have Wither Skeleton farm because I don't need one. I don't have a blaze farm. I don't have anything else. Okay, what should I start with? Let's pick this and go in a clockwise direction. Starting here in this truck, kinda, we have a few army vehicles, a few floodlights, a temple, and then inside of this temple right here, we have a button, and this button opens up this door. Down here we have these nice little statues in this little room, and in here we have my villager trading area. I have a lot of librarians, a few toolsmiths, a few armorers, and what are you for? In here I have a lot of farmers because I still use mostly crops to get the emeralds, and here I have a lot of stone cutters for quartz. I still have a lot of room for expansion because I don't really need any more villagers at the moment. I will probably get a bunch more stone cutters to get that quartz because I will need it later. And in here I have a mushroom room where I can either grow a big mushrooms when I need them or let them spread naturally. In here I have a storage room, and I need those mushrooms for weakness potions to convert the villagers from zombies into regular villagers to get cheaper prices. In here I have my pumpkin and melon farm, and in here I have a nice little bedroom where I can AFK in peace whenever I need to. Then if you go upstairs, in here I have the back end of this whole area. Like, you know, it is what you'd expect from the back end, you know, like front end, back end. Here I have zombie villager in case the one inside die or something bad happens to them. And in here I have a trapdoor up there where I can use to lure in a few more zombies if all of them, including this one, die or disappear when I update the world. Oh, and in here I have the villager breeder. Moving on. Something that I never really liked is how some people tend to surround their main base with all the farms in the world and then end up spending most of their time in the massive central collecting area or storage system or stuff like that. I was never a fan of that. The world is your canvas. Paint the whole thing, not just a corner. To fight against that, I tend to leave the items at the farm that produced them, but when I cannot, here's where my main bulk storage system comes in hand. Here I have the windmill and the massive sunflower fields, as well as some bees. They're just decorative, but you know. Here is where I store the items that I have a lot of, but the ones that don't really come from a farm, the ones that I mined out, or stuff like that. In case you don't have an elytra, you can just fall in the water, and then when you come out of it, here the first room is where I keep a lot of concrete, because I need a lot of concrete for a separate project. Then in here, going up these little few steps, I have my main general purpose area where I keep a lot of items that are not sorted out at all. The idea of this place was to kinda use the natural shape of this ravine to put little rooms wherever I can, like here where is my stone room, then on the other side is andesite, stuff like that, then over there is sandstone, stuff like that, and in here I have a massive cobblestone generator. This thing produces a lot of items, and I don't really have a fueling system yet. I need a fueling source to make it into stone, because I need stone for a project. And I was thinking about a bamboo farm, but in 1.17 there is the option of having a lava generator, kinda, and I think I'm gonna end up going for that because it just produces way less lag. When you're done with your items, you can just fly out of here, or you can take the stairs. Ow. And this button does actually work. Okay, what's next? That I already showed you. Here is nothing much, it's just my unfinished guardian farm and a mesa that I just make use of. I started the project because a friend of mine wanted to get some prismarine or whatever, but I ended up never finishing it because I do not need any prismarine or anything like that. So, here it is. Here I have a mesa that I totally defiled because I needed a lot of terracotta, and specifically a lot of white terracotta for that project that I showed you in the beginning, the map art. Okay, what else do we have here? This is for the gold farm, and this is for a bit of a special farm. The idea for this farm was to have an Aztec temple that the mobs come out of and fall here, which is kind of like the sacrificing area. And then if you come in here, this is where all the drops end up. The reason why this farm is a bit special is because theoretically you need this to be as low as possible, ideally. This is on top of a temple that is on top of a mountain. Not ideal. But thing is that I only had to run this farm twice or thrice, and I still have gunpowder, and the main reason why I built it is to get gunpowder for rockets, so I don't need to run it anymore. So even if it's not ideal, I don't have to fix it, it works just fine. Moving on, we have a bit of an oddity, and that would be the place where I've made the first map art, which is our flag. If you just look at it, it looks very weird and nonsensical, but on the map it looks fine, and over here I ran out of items, so I just used glass. Nowadays I build my map art in the end, but at the beginning I did this here because I wanted to make use of the blue of the ocean, and that did help me cut down a lot on the resources and the time I had to spend building all of this. After this, there's not actually a whole lot to show you. I have actually I kind of want to show you this. This might just be the ugliest slime farm you will ever see. At the beginning, I've actually mined out the wrong for chunks because there is a 2x2 slime area, spawning area, but that's the two chunks over there and the next ones, not these two ones. So I have this big hole. After I dug it up, I realized how little slime I actually need. I've left it on for, I don't know, a day or so, and I haven't needed slime since. And I was with a friend and we needed slime for a very specific project that we are working on, and we were like, okay, let's just finish this as quickly as possible and move on. And we literally at the end started using whatever resources we were getting while mining it. So yeah, the ugliest slime farm you will ever see, but no, it's a nice memory. I don't actually remember what these two are for. There is another portal over there, but I don't know what this one is for. Where are we? This is just where I get coral from. Yeah, there's nothing to see here. What is? No, there's just a little coral platform over there. There's really nothing. And now let us go to the final stop of this tour. This is my current end portal, and as well a sand generator and a concrete generator. Over here I have a bed that is good to use to mark your spawn location, because it's good to have your spawn near the portal when you work with sand or concrete generators. Now this you can turn on from here. It's very laggy. And over here I have a chunk loader that kinda doesn't work anymore, I'm not sure why. And then in here, this is where the sand would be just broken off with that button over there. And if it was in concrete mode, these blocks would be missing and they would be launched over here. Then from here they would be launched upward in that piston feed tape. There is water here that will turn the powder into blocks, and then they would be pushed in here and then in here in the blasting area. Then they drop down in the item collection area. And that happens for all 4 directions where the concrete would be sand, and I have a TNT duper there and there to transform them into items. Unfortunately, this doesn't work at the moment because I was working on a project and a piece of TNT fell through the end portal and destroyed most things in this area. Well, it was actually a lot of TNT that fell through, but in here I have an old Wither Rose farm that the Wither escaped from because of an update, and I had to call some friends to kill it because it kept on aggroing on the Endermans here, and it was very difficult because every time he was low he would just fly off into Narnia. And I didn't repair it because I still have a lot of Wither Roses and nothing to do with them, so for the moment I'm gonna leave it like this because I really don't feel like hunting down another Wither. After this I have this end portal here, which is really the last stop of this tour. Here is where I do all my map art. As I said, the other one I did on an ocean because I wanted to make use of the blue. But here I will build most of the rest of them because I just have a lot of free space and I don't have to clear out the space first. I can just start doing it. All things considered, this didn't actually take me all that much. It only took me a couple of weeks and it was mostly solo. I did draw the lines, like I would come in here, do these lines, and I let a few people, one or two, fill in. They did help me with like a quarter of this, but the rest of it is really just me. And not that I didn't want the help, but I actually did not have internet for 2 days, and I was like, let's do it. And here is the final project. It took me weeks of work.